Hey everybody, and welcome back. Sorry to Hale Sports Cards. Today is another PSA video. So I have 25 cards here, I think. So it'll be a 24 card bulk order, and then I got one pretty big card at the end that I'm gonna send at like the 20-day Super Express. So two reasons: A, it's a huge card. I want to get it back. B, everything I hear, and I've done this once before and it kind of worked. You know, one of the longest parts of PSA is them actually receiving, opening the box and getting everything checked in. If you have a box with multiple submissions, you know, this one card that's a 20-day turnaround, then they're going to have to open the box. Now, these aren't going to get graded in 20 days, but they'll at least get through that first part faster, is what I've heard and been told. So we're going to give that a whirl. Plus, I just kind of wanted to get an order out. I haven't done this in a while. So I'm going to run through what I'm sending and kind of my thoughts and why. Kind of see what you guys think. One baseball card. I have it on the top. Shohei Technicolor. Cool looking insert. It's Shohei. He has won another MVP, another World Series. Best baseball player in the world. I was going to do like all one sport. I saw this sitting there and was like, why not? I got some more baseball cards. It's not baseball season, but I kind of want to see how that does. We have 3 football cards. We got a Caleb Williams on the black and green shock. That is the premier level. Now, a lot of these have print lines. This one, it has one. You can't really see it in this light or in the case, but there is a very tiny one. But everything else looks pretty good. The centering on these is tough. A lot of them are off center. This one I thought looked pretty solid. No other blemishes, so I'm going to give it a whirl. He's playing a lot better. Still not amazing, but the Bears are like the 1 seed right now. So I'm hoping I get this back in time for the playoffs. They make a little run and get a few bucks out of that. Same thought here with who's probably the MVP frontrunner right now, Drake May. Having an awesome season. The Pats are the first one in the AFC right now, the number 1 seed. So same thing, it's a die cut, but, you know, this particular die cut only has those little edges. I checked them out. They look really good. Once again, centering's good, which is pretty tough on these select ones. The silvers don't have any print lines. I thought this card was super clean. And once again, I mean, it's a retail parallel. I pulled this out of like a blaster. And I think tinned, it's probably a $70 to $100 card. This one right here has been in the PC for a minute. Silver Jaden Daniels. Don't plan on selling this. I want to keep a silver in the collection. I pulled my first one and it was dimpled and off center and kind of a mess. I ended up selling that on Whatnot after I pulled this one. This one is much cleaner. Looks pretty good centering. You know, these prisms were really hard this year. When I pulled this was like $2,000 in a tin. It's dropped to like 900, but like I said, I don't plan on selling it. I usually don't grade PC cards, but this is such a big one. You know, the silver rookie prisms are like the rookie card. So I do want to get this encapsulated and have a 10 in my collection of just this one. So that's the football and baseball. The rest is pretty much all basketball. Basketball season's heating up. The market's going good. This one, probably the worst one I'm sending off, but I'm taking a shot on this. I pulled this out of that International Phoenix. This is the blue to 35. Yep, 34-35. The Blazers are playing pretty solid. Scoot's hurt, but I think when he comes back, he's going to fit right into that lineup, the way they're playing with him and Denny and Tamari Kamana. Like, I feel like he's going to pick up where he left off and keep getting better. I have a lot of high hopes on Scoot, and a rookie card of his out of 35 is something I wouldn't mind having and holding on to. Another rookie I really like, Matas Buzelis. The Bulls have cooled off, but the red ice color match, you know, once again, this year a prism, really off center, but this one was actually good. I went through all of my prism retail I ripped, and there was very few that were grade worthy. This was one of them. So with the red color match, I think this card was doing pretty good numbers there for a while. It's probably dropped down, but still, if I can get 80 bucks out of this, that's a W. You know, when you're spending 22 bucks to grade it. And like, you know, I've talked about this before. I don't buy cards to grade. This is me taking the cards that are hit, when I rip, because that's what I do, rip and breaks. I don't really buy singles unless it's some PC card I really want. And this is just a way to basically take those cards, instead of just selling them raw so I can buy more stuff to rip, because most of these aren't PC. You know, you gem something up, you multipliers start hitting, and you can get some more money out of it. So Alexander Sarr on the Deca red color match, that is to 199. He's actually playing really well. The Wizards are awful, but he's looking like he's going to be a hell of a player. The Decas seem to grade pretty well. This card's super clean. It's a color match. It's a numbered rookie. I'm going to give that a shot. Something you're going to see more in here is I'm sending off a lot of vets. Shea. So this is the all-star version, but it is a red color match with that. Shea just won an MVP. Looking like there's a chance he wins a second. The Thunder are like 20-1 as I'm recording this. They're killing everybody. It's hard to think that without some sort of injuries, and a bunch of them because they're so deep, they don't win again. But his market's going to keep going up. There's actually more Sheas in here. We'll see. But cool little color match. You know, I don't think this is going to be a multi-$100 card, but this is another one. I hit this in a break. You know, if you spend the $20, then get 70 or 80 bucks, $100 out of it, I mean, that's a win. I got 2 of these out of a break. I think I actually hit more. These are the only 2 grade worthy. So this was Prism China. I was scrolling around Whatnot one night, and somebody was doing a full case break. The prices were pretty good, so I took a jab at a random team, and I hit the Lakers. I didn't hit anything huge, but I did get these 2 LeBron Chinas that are pretty sick. You know, it's him doing their silvers. It's him doing the chalk toss. It's got his name in Chinese. They're pretty cool cards. I didn't really look at what they're doing. Maybe I should have, but like I can't imagine. Pretty much, my general thought is any LeBron like parallel is going to get you like $50 or so. That's just how it is. Here's a good one. This one keeps going up. So Stephon Castle Silver, pulled this out of a blaster. These are doing a couple $100 right now. He keeps getting better. You know, the other night, him and Wemby became the first teammates to both hit a triple-double. He's playing outside his mind. I'm really hoping the Spurs don't do something crazy and then try to trade for Giannis, because I think he's going to be the guy that has to be in the trade. I don't see them trading Dylan Harper. So if that happens, he'll be stuck on Milwaukee, and that's not great. But the way the Spurs are playing, I think the silver of him's a good one. Another one I hit out of the international was the Wemby Operation Detonation. This is not numbered, but once again, Wemby's Wemby. I think as the season goes on, he only plays better. His market goes up as long as he stays healthy. And then we have a couple Lucas. So actually both of them mosaics too. I actually hit this in a break. So this is the heat check. This isn't like a case hit, but these are shorter printed. Like when you're watching the Mosaic Hobbies get opened, you notice you only get like one, what I'd call insert of like a heat check and a few others per box. So I hit this Luka. It's well-centered, super clean. It's in his Lakers jersey. There's not a ton of cards of him in the Lakers jersey yet. He's not even in the new top stuff because he's Panini exclusive still. So there ain't a ton of, there's no new Luka stuff, right? So I like that one. I hit this in my fast break box. This was kind of the hit of the box out of 99. I think it's the orange of the Stairmaskers. Another Luka in the Lakers jersey. He's having a great year, so. Let me see what we got here. So there's some, I want to do all that at the end. Let's go like this, because I got a bunch of Topps paper stuff in here from the new set that I want to look at. Another card I hit on channel. This was out of the Optic Fast Break. Still in his Mavs jersey, but the pink to 25. I can't imagine, you know, Luka's another one of those guys. You hit a low-numbered parallel of his, or really any parallel, you know, I think it's probably worth grading. He has a big hobby following, kind of like LeBron. So this is a LeBron. I believe these are the case hits at a Mosaic retail. If you look at the megas, it says like retail exclusive full capacity. So funny story. The video I did with the 3 mega boxes, like I said in that video, I ordered 4 because it was buy one, get one for Black Friday. The 4th didn't show up. There was no tracking on it. My 3 were okay. And like I said in the video, I'm willing to bet the 4th one I end up opening off camera and hit a banger. And this was it. It showed up yesterday. I have one box. What am I going to do with it? I'm not going to open one mega on a video. That's kind of boring. So I just ripped it in the kitchen and boom, full capacity LeBron James. These are doing, there's none graded. Well, there's no 10s. There's only been like 2 graded. There were ones and 8, ones and 9. The raw 10s are doing like 100. So I would imagine, or the raw ungraded are doing like 100. So I'd imagine you gym this up, you're looking at a couple hundred. People love LeBron. This one I'm kind of taking a flyer on. So this was the case hit Let's Go out of Topps Chrome last year. So it's a rookie SAR, unlicensed, but a case hit. He's playing awesome. I kind of have a thing for case hits. So if this doesn't gym up and fetch a good price, I'll just keep it, you know. I'm not too worried about it. But I figured let's give it a shot and see what happens. These next 3 are fun. So I have had these 3 Shea Donruss rated rookies forever. Back in 2020, when I got back into the hobby, I was, I got back in like a lot of people, like, oh, collecting cards is like the stock market. You can buy guys, hold them, flip them, whatever. I did that for a little while. I didn't do great. But I bought these way back then when the Thunder were kind of just starting to show. And I don't know why. I didn't realize Shea was going to be an MVP and this good, but I was like, his stuff's pretty cheap, and I think he's going to be a really good player. And back in 2020, everyone was chasing like Ant and LaMelo. You went back a few drafts, like Trae Young stuff was going crazy. That's when Luka base PSA 10s were selling for crazy. Like, it was hard to like find guys to chase. So he was the one that I was like buying random stuff of. And I've had these for 5 years just sitting here. They're pretty clean, and these are selling for like $100 in 10s. So I figured now's a good time. Let's send them in, gym them up. Maybe by the time they get back, they even go up, but figured it was time. Let's see if we can't get something out of those. Now, these next ones are all recent pulls. I don't know how well they're going to do, but I pulled all of these. Basically, I think all of these are retail that I pulled. I did not have a ton of hobby luck. I pulled a decent amount of PC cards. I'm actually going to do like a PC thing because a lot of the breaks I get in, I hunt for Celtics. I try to break for PC. Because it's, at least then if you don't hit anything too valuable, at least happy. But I hit these in a couple of my blasters I ripped. I think these were on channel. But this is the Clutch City of Dylan Harper. These foil inserts look so cool. There's none of these graded yet. Dylan Harper's a beast. He's not putting up insane numbers just yet, but I think as the year goes on, he's going to play more and more. So I really like these, and I kind of wanted to see how they did. Topps paper's hard to grade, but why not? Then we had a Generation Now of Coward. He's been awesome this year. The Grizzlies are kind of a mess, but he's one of the top 5 rookies in the Rookie of the Year rankings. No matter how you look at it, he's been awesome. So that's the one grade-worthy, clean parallel of his I pulled. I hit the Generation Now, that foil of Dylan Harper too. So sadly, I haven't gotten very lucky on hitting like the base rookie parallels really at all, but I think these are pretty clean cards. The inserts aren't great, but then you see them with the foil and they look really good, which is kind of the story of the last one of our base. I actually just hit this the other day. I got this out of one of those Black Friday blasters. Walked into Target like a few days, like the next week. There was 2 of them still there. I grabbed them. Didn't do anything too crazy. I hit some nice cards, but most of them aren't clean enough or they're off center. But this one, super clean. That's the hollow foil of the Power Players. So Cooper Flag, insert parallel, why not, right? So that's the base submission. And then, and I've mentioned this on the channel, this bad boy. So this is the Cooper Flag Gold Mirror Variation. This is doing like $800 to $900 right now, but I don't see any gemmed. This has to be a huge PSA 10, right? I mean, it's super clean. The corners and all are really sharp. I actually pulled this, so this is funny. I was up near my local card shop, which isn't close to me, but it's near the airport. Had to pick up some family who were coming in for Thanksgiving. I had some time to kill. Went to the hobby shop, bought a box. If you've watched the video, it was actually I believe it was the Optic International video where I actually showed this because I bought that box. Then I ran over to Target, was like, I wonder what's on the shelves. And I saw 2 megas in the wild for the first time. And I was like, if this is anything like Topps Baseball, I'm not going to hit crap in these megas, but I'm going to give it a whirl. I had time to kill. I was sitting in my truck, flipping through. I wasn't even flipping slow. I was just kind of going through, trying to get to the parallels. And all of a sudden, I'm flipping and I see this. I literally just froze. You know, took a picture of the back, sent it to my buddies. Was like, holy shit. Immediately realized I didn't have any sleeves in the car. Had to run back into Target, buy sleeves and top loaders, because there's no way I was leaving this unprotected. Just crazy. This is without a doubt my craziest pull of the year, and of course it came off camera. You know, we have, I think there's there's 3 or 4 in here that most of these honestly were pulled off camera. On camera, I've not had very good luck recently, but it seems if I rip something off camera, I'm bound to get a banger out of it. But this is a huge card. Definitely won't be staying in the PC. I'm not the biggest Cooper Flag or Mavericks guy, and this card's probably worth so much that I can't convince myself to keep it once I see the value. If I get a 10, even in a 9, I think it's a $1,000 card. So regardless, I will be selling it. But I'm sending this in at like the $75 20-day turnaround to try to get it back quick. So I'll do some sort of reveal when I get it back. Those will obviously take a little bit longer. The times right now are crazy at PSA, but we'll see how it goes. But, you know, that's what I'm sending in. You know, a little bit of different stuff. Trying some stuff out, you know. We'll see how it goes. I look over the cards pretty good. I don't, you know, I'm not one of those guys that'll send in a bunch of stuff or, you know, I'm not going to send in a crap ton. I have a ton of cards next to me that, like, I've been kind of going through my PC boxes, pulling out cards that I think, you know, my general rule is if I can spend the $20 and then sell a 10 for at least 50, then to me, I'm making an extra 30 off that card. That's probably a good little investment. You know, it's a good way to, you know, like I've said, this isn't a business for me. This is, I sell cards so I can open more cards, you know, and I really want to grow the channel so I can open bigger stuff. You know, that's kind of my goal. So anytime I think I can do this in order to try to pay off the boxes I want, right? Put it back into the hobby, put it back into the channel. That's the reason I do this, right? Like this ain't a business for me. Trust me, I don't make money off this. I lose money. But any way I can try to get closer to that net zero is definitely a goal of mine. So I'm going to see how this goes. I'm going to do more videos. You know, I got some ideas as I'm digging through, like, you know, guys like in baseball, Judge and Ohtani. In basketball, LeBron, Curry, Luka, Wemby, you know, football, Mahomes, and some of the bigger quarterbacks. Like, you pull a ton of parallels of those guys in all kinds of retail and hobby. And, you know, I know people are always chasing rookies, but I think there is a gap. And maybe I'm wrong and there's really not. But I think some of those vets, you hit their cards, you gem them up, and you can, you know, sell them pretty easily, right? A lot of those guys have markets. So we're going to give it a whirl. We're going to see how this goes. I might truly regret most of these cards, but, you know, obviously this one's fine. And I think the total order was like $550 to send all these in, right? So you got to think 5 of these cards gem up and I get 100, and then boom, the order is paid for, and then everything else is just, you know, free money. So we'll see how it goes. Like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Would you be sending in these cards? Am I making mistakes? You know, what kind of stuff do you guys like to send in? Do you like these videos? You know, typically my PSA videos where I talk about this I've only done a couple, but they've been the best ones. So I'm really hoping it goes well. I haven't done this since PSA started doing the offers. So I don't know if any of these cards will be worth taking offers on. If they are, when I get the reveal back, I'll kind of go through that, try to find a way to do the screen capture and make a video like the people do. I'm not good at that, but I'll learn. But like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure to give me a thumbs up too, man. I'm fighting that algorithm. So comment, thumbs up, do whatever you can. Thanks.